Halloween is a time of year when the air is filled with the scent of pumpkin spice, children trick-or-treating in the streets, and spine-tingling tales shared around flickering bonfires. Let's unravel one of the most intriguing Halloween urban legends. Who hasn't heard of Bloody Mary? The chilling tale that if you summon the courage to stand in front of a mirror in the eerie ambience of a dimly lit room and chant Bloody Mary 3 times, you'll conjure a vengeful spirit. According to the various renditions of this lore, Bloody Mary is believed to have been a powerful witch who met her demise through execution for her alleged involvement in the mysterious realm of black magic. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Mary was England's first queen, and history remembers Mary as a murderous monster who burned hundreds of her subjects at the stake. But the real story is far more refined. The first woman to rule England in her own right didn't simply inherit the throne. She seized it with unprecedented ambition from those who sought to defeat her. Mary's ascension to the throne was staggeringly bold. Her course of action undertaken had little chance of success, but after unseating Lady Jane Grey, the 9-day queen, Mary rode into London on August 3rd, 1553, to widespread acclaim. It was said that no one could remember there ever having been public rejoicing such as this. Centuries later, however, the Tudor Queen is remembered as one of the most reviled figures in English history, Bloody Mary. This is the story of how a heroic underdog became a monarch, who was then mythologized as a violent tyrant, despite being no bloodier than her father, Henry VIII, or many other English monarchs. It's a tale of sexism, shifting national identity, and good old-fashioned propaganda, all of which coalesced to create the image of an unchecked tyrant that endures today. Born on February 18, 1516, Mary was not the long-awaited son her parents Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon had hoped for, but she survived infancy and grew up in the public eye as a beloved princess, at least until her teenage years. When Mary was a teenager, her father became infatuated with Anne Boleyn, which led to him divorcing her mother and breaking with the Catholic Church. She was declared illegitimate and downgraded from the title of princess to lady and separated from her mother. Mary refused to acknowledge the validity of her parents' divorce or her father's status as head of the Church of England. It was only in 1536, after Anne's execution and Henry's marriage to Jane Seymour, that Mary finally agreed to her father's terms. Welcomed back to court, she survived Henry and 3 more stepmothers, only to see her younger half-brother, Edward IV, take the throne in 1547 as a Protestant reformer, which was offensive to Mary's faith. When Edward died 6 years later, in 1553, he attempted to subvert his father's wishes by leaving the crown to a Protestant cousin, Jane, excluding those next in line in the succession, Mary and her younger half-sister, the future Elizabeth I. Though Mary could have sought refuge with relatives in Spain, she chose to remain in England and fight for what was rightfully hers. Eluding the armies of her antagonists, she rallied support from nobles across the country and marched on London. Mary and Elizabeth rode into England's capital side by side, one as a queen and the other as a queen-in-waiting. During her 5-year reign, she navigated the manifold changes associated with her status as the first English queen to wear the crown in her own right, rather than as the wife of a king. She prioritized religion, implementing reforms and restrictions aimed at restoring the Catholic Church's ascendancy in England. Most controversially, she ordered around 280 Protestants burned at the stakes as heretics, a fact that would later cement her reputation as Bloody Mary. The Queen also set precedences and laid the groundwork for initiatives that would be built upon by her much lauded successor Elizabeth, among others: financial reform, exploration, and naval expansion. However, Mary died at age 42 in 1558, never producing an heir. They say she died of maybe an ovarian cyst, cancer, or influenza, and then Elizabeth claimed the throne. But why did Mary get such a bad reputation? Undoubtedly horrific sentence. But really, in Tudor England, bloody punishments were the norm, with execution methods ranging from beheading to boiling to being hanged, drawn, and quartered. They lived in a brutal age, and it took a lot to revolt your average 16th century citizen. Mary and her advisors hoped the initial spat of burnings would serve as a short, sharp shock, warning errant Protestants to return to the fold of the true faith. All that being said, inseparable from Mary's legacy are the 280 Protestants she co-signed to the flames. These executions, the main reason for her unfortunate nickname, are cited as justifications for labeling her one of the most evil humans of all time, and even depicting her as a flesh-eating zombie. Consider this, however, why don't we say a Bloody Henry? Though Mary's father, Henry, only had 81 people burned at the stake over the course of his 38-year reign, he did order the deaths of as many as 57,000 to 72,000 of his subjects, including 2 of his wives. Mary's successor, Elizabeth, burned 5 Anabaptists at the stake during her 45-year reign, ordered the executions of around 800 Catholic rebels implicated in the 1569 Rising of the North, and had at least 183 Catholics, the majority of whom were Jesuit missionaries, hanged, drawn, and quartered as traitors. If numbers are the main reasoning behind such sobriquets as Bloody Mary, then why aren't Mary's family members dubbed Bloody Henry, Bloody Edward, or Bloody Bess? But several reoccurring themes persist. As England's first queen, Mary faced the same challenges experienced by female rulers across the continent. Namely, her counselors and subjects a lack of faith in women's ability to govern. A dilemma best described by Mary as, a woman is never feared or respected as a man. Whatever her rank, all she can do is shoulder the responsibility for the mistakes committed by others. I'm sorry to ruin one of Halloween's most chilling urban legends for you, but you still always have the Candyman. Do you not know the Candyman? Similar to the infamous supernatural entity Bloody Mary, the Candyman is said to be summoned by uttering his name 5 times while gazing into a mirror. As the haunting legend goes, the Candyman was once an artist and the son of a slave who was tragically murdered due to his forbidden interracial love affair. Now fueled by his unquenchable desire for vengeance, his tormented spirit emerges whenever he is summoned, ready to unleash his wrath upon those who dare to conjure him. This chilling tale of the Candyman serves as a haunting reminder of the consequences that can rise from forbidden love and the dark power that lies within urban legends. Thank you so much for joining us on another Sinister Sunday. If you like this content, please check out our Sinister Sunday playlist for more. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. We'll see you next week.